Hi, I am Artem Chibatko and this is using Spark GraphFrame API with DSE GraphFrames. As you may have already noticed, there are DSE GraphFrames and there are Spark GraphFrames. Are they related and how? DSE GraphFrame is an extension of GraphFrame. It uses GraphFrame compatible data format and can be converted to GraphFrame implicitly or using method GF. In this presentation, we will introduce some methods of the original GraphFrame API from Spark. We will work on the same examples that we also used in our presentation called Using Gremlin with DSE GraphFrames, so that you can easily compare Gremlin and GraphFrame APIs. I personally prefer using Gremlin, but it is always good to have options. These are the main categories of methods available in GraphFrame API, namely motif finding, graph topology, graph structure, graph algorithm, and graph persistence. It will require a lot of time to learn about all of these methods. So we will only focus on the most interesting one for us, the method called find. You can always find more information about the other methods in the Spark documentation. Motif finding is an interesting way to express graph queries using graph pattern matching. This is similar to declarative Gremlin traversals, but the syntax is of course quite different and it does rely heavily on DataFrame API as well. So the general strategy is to first create a DSE GraphFrame for a particular graph that exists in DSE Graph. We call method DSE Graph for killer video on the Spark session object. Second, we call method find and pass it a graph pattern that needs to be matched against our killer video graph. Next, we augment motif finding with DataFrame API methods like filter and select. Finally, we use a method that can trigger computation in Spark, such as DataFrame's show in this example. Here are some rules about defining graph patterns. A unit pattern is simply a directed edge with two endpoints. All three components can be given arbitrary names such as A, E, and B in this example, denoting that the pattern must match an edge E from vertex A to vertex B. Multiple unit patterns can be combined into a larger pattern using semicolons, which serve as conjunction operators. In this example, we have two edges from A to B to C. If different patterns components share the same name, it means that they should match the same graph elements, such as B is used as an endpoint in one edge and also an endpoint in the other edge. B must match a vertex that has an incoming and outgoing edges accordingly to the pattern. Vertex and edge names become column names in the resulting data frame. Also, vertex and edge names can be omitted if they are not needed to be in the resulting data frame. Finally, an edge can be negated to indicate that the edge should not be present in the graph. This is done using an exclamation mark in front of a unit pattern. In this example, we find edges from A to B such that there exists no edge from B to A. This simple motif finding example uses a unit pattern to match all edges in our graph and returns a data frame with 3 columns. We show the first 5 found edges. Likely, this is not the most useful query you can think of. To make things more interesting, we need a way to restrict vertex and edge labels as well as property values. This can be done with DataFrame API. Here is an incomplete list of DataFrame methods that you may find to be useful. Even if you are not very familiar with Spark data frames, the names of these methods are descriptive enough to infer their purpose. We will see some of them used in the following examples. Furthermore, there are many predefined functions that can help you define even more complex graph queries. You can sort things, do mathematical calculation, compute aggregates, extract substrings, work with dates, and so forth. Again, this is an incomplete list and you can read the Spark documentation for more details. Now we are ready to do some damage. This is a simple query that finds Robert De Niro's movies from 1970s. We match edges with pattern movie E person and further require person's name to be Robert De Niro, age label to be actor, movie year to be greater than or equal to 1970 and less than 1980. We select title and year values of such movies and output them using DataFrame's method show. The result contains 3 movies. Next, we find rating distribution for Robert De Niro's movies and order the results by rating. Our graph pattern consists of 2 unit patterns: user rated movie and movie actor person. A person name must be Robert De Niro and 2 edges must have labels rated and actor. Since we're only interested in ratings, we select the rating property values, group them by rating, and count how many values we have per group. Finally, we rename column count1 to simply count, order by the rating column, and show the results. Now we can go a bit further. Let's save the result of our analysis of Robert De Niro's movie ratings into a Cassandra table. We should assume that we already have Cassandra keyspace killer_video and empty table De Niro ratings with columns rating and count. The query itself should look familiar as it only differs from the previous example in the last 2 lines. Instead of ordering and displaying the result, we use Spark Cassandra connector to save the result into Cassandra. If the save into Cassandra code looks new to you, consider taking our course on DataStax Enterprise Analytics with Apache Spark on DataStax Academy to learn more. Lastly, we use Spark SQL to retrieve data back from the Cassandra table to see if we indeed achieved our goal. And finally, we have our most complex example where we find and compare rating distributions for Al Pacino and Robert De Niro by retrieving and combining data from both Graph and Cassandra. That should be interesting. We get Al Pacino's rating distribution from the graph and Robert De Niro's rating distribution from the table in Cassandra we populated in the previous example. We then take the 2 resulting data frames or tables and perform a full outer join on the rating column. The full outer join is required to preserve any rows from both tables that cannot satisfy the join condition. We order the resulting table by rating and show the result. You should be able to recognize that the query uses a number of APIs: DSE GraphFrames, Spark GraphFrames, DataFrames, Spark Cassandra connector, and Spark SQL. There are so many possibilities. And now you have an opportunity to practice some of those skills.